Yeah, boy. 47 all day for real. Mightily excited. Revisiting every NRL Grand Final. Right now, the recent 2023 NRL Grand Final. In my opinion, the greatest Grand Final of them all. The greatest of them all, bar none. This is going to be a very long video because there's lots to talk about. So if you're a rugby league fan, please watch till the very end. Even though it's going to go for about 10 minutes. Don't miss any information coming up. Right here. Penrith eventually defeating Brisbane 26 points to 24. But let's just go through it one play at a time. One play at a time for just that. Really such lunacy, such a ridiculous unfolding of events. So, throughout the 2023 season, I myself had no doubt at all that Penrith were in fact going to pull off the three-peat and become the first team since Parramatta did it 1981, 1982 and 1983. The first team to pull off the three-peat in 40 years. I had no doubt that they would do it, but not in such ridiculous circumstances. Penrith throughout the 2023 season, just the usual self, the usual well-drilled, well-oiled, disciplined, methodical, clinical selves, and Brisbane Broncos as well in 2023, playing a different style of football, racking up outstanding tries left, right and centre. They were playing brilliantly all year too, but I thought Penrith would just pip them. I actually picked Penrith to win by 1 point. They won by 2, so I nearly got it. But I thought it would be close, but not so ridiculous though. So, first of all, the most incredible thing, I think, was how ordinary both teams were in the first half and how ordinary Penrith were for the first 60 minutes, and the fact that the second half then unfolded the way it did. In the first half, Brisbane could not get out of their own way. They were only completing about half their sets, knocking on left, right and centre. Anytime they did hold the ball, they just botched it, didn't threaten the Penrith defence at all. So this obviously gifted Penrith a mountain of possession down near Brisbane's try line. But somehow of all this possession, Penrith only managed one try in the first half. So very unlike them. We're used to seeing Penrith put on 3 or 4 or 5 tries in the one half if a team's playing that poorly against them. And this only try that Penrith did score via the hooker Mitch Kenny, that only came after Brisbane actually had knocked the ball back, which allowed Mitch Kenny to pick it up and stroll over and score. And that was converted by Stephen Crichton. Not Nathan Cleary. Nathan Cleary kicked all Penrith's other goals in this grand final. Stephen Crichton kicked this one though. And I will say what I'm going to say about Crichton later, because we'll get to it in a few minutes. And then eventually Adam Reynolds had a goal on dropout, which he kicked out on the full, which gave Penrith a penalty right in front. And this time Nathan Cleary kicked that penalty goal for Penrith to lead 8-0. And somehow, after playing so atrociously, Brisbane managed to sneak back into the contest just before half-time. The Brisbane prop, Thomas Fleger, he burrowed low underneath the Penrith defence to score right in front, just about. And that was an easy conversion for Adam Reynolds. And at half-time, can you believe at half-time Brisbane only trailed 8 points to 6 after playing so woefully? Absolutely incredible. Then, and I'm thinking, okay, surely both teams' coaches won't be happy with this. Surely they'll rip into them and rev them up, and surely we'll see a better second half. And the first 20 minutes of the second half was absolutely phenomenal by Brisbane, producing the attacking brilliance that they have all year. And eventually Ezra Mam, I'm not going to star jump this time. The Broncos' outstanding 5'8" Ezra Mam, he picked up a grand final hat-trick in 10 minutes. All those 3 tries converted by Adam Reynolds. Brisbane to then lead 24 points to 8. Unfortunately for Ezra Mam, even though he picked up that grand final hat-trick, the only player ever in the history of Australian Rugby League to score a grand final hat-trick and still lose. So, despite his brilliant performance in this grand final, and despite his brilliant performances the entire 2023 season for the Broncos, he's unfortunately and undeservedly ended up with that unwanted statistic of being the only player ever to get a grand final hat-trick and still lose. The only other players ever to get a grand final hat-trick, so the elite company that Mam did at least join, in 1951, grand final, South had beaten Manly 42-14, and the South winger Johnny Graves, he actually got 4 tries in that one, so he's the only player to ever get 4 in a grand final. The legendary St George team who won 11 straight grand finals had Eddie Lumsden get a grand final hat-trick in the 1959 grand final when they beat Manly 20-0, and he got another grand final hat-trick in the 1961 grand final when they beat West 22-0. So Lumsden, of course, the only player to get 2 grand final hat-tricks. Other players who pulled one off were Steve Renouf for Brisbane when they beat Cronulla 26 points to 8 in the 1997 Super League grand final, and of course one that I was lucky enough to go to attend, Manly had beaten Melbourne 40-0 in the 2008 grand final, and Manly's Michael Robertson getting a grand final hat-trick in that one. So Ezra Mam with his grand final hat-trick, joining those legendary players. But unfortunately, in a class all by himself, the only player to ever get one and lose. Not what he deserved at all, but that's sport. That is sport. Then, when you think it can't possibly twist and turn anymore, after 60 minutes, Penrith were dishing up absolute rubbish, like completely un-Penrith-like. Somehow, with 20 minutes left and trailing by 16, they pulled off the biggest grand final comeback ever. 16-point comeback is not the biggest comeback, but it's the biggest comeback in a grand final. And Cleary somehow earning the Clive Churchill medal by spearheading this unprecedented revival. First of all, he made a line break and set up a try for the prop Moses Leota, outstanding prop, third grand final try for him. Cleary converted that try to make it 24-14 in Brisbane's favour. Cleary then had also landed a 40-20, and he had also caught an Adam Reynolds goal line dropout, put his foot over the sideline to earn a penalty for his team. So the Cleary that we're used to seeing, doing everything to get him the job done, get him over the line. And then eventually, the next try was scored by Penrith's Stephen Crichton. Now we can start on for him. So the Cleary converted for Penrith to only trail 24-20. With still enough time left to pull off the win. Crichton, in his 100th career game, has now scored in 4 consecutive grand finals. Even the grand final that Penrith lost in 2020 to Melbourne 26-20, he scored in that one. 2021, when they beat South in the grand final 14-12, he intercepted a Cody Walker pass and scored there. And of course, 2022, when they thumped Parramatta 28-12 in that grand final, he's of course got the first try in that grand final. So now, Brighton's phenomenal achievement of scoring in 4 consecutive grand finals, we need to go back again to the legendary St George team who won 11 straight grand finals for the last time a player had scored in 4 consecutive grand finals. I just said how Eddie Lumsden got 2 grand final hat-tricks for St George. He was one all-time legendary Saints winger. The other all-time legendary Saints winger, his name was Johnny King, and he scored 2 tries in the 1960 grand final when St George had beaten East 31-6. 1961, he got 1 when they beat West 22-0. 1962, he got the match winner when they beat West 9-6. 1963, he got the match winner when they beat West again 8-3. 1964, Johnny King got the match winner when they beat Balmain 11-6. And 1965, he got the match winner again when they beat South 12-8. So Johnny King scoring in 6 consecutive grand finals and 4 times in a row the match winner. We need to go all the way back there, 60, 70 years ago, to that's the only player more consistent in scoring grand final tries than Stephen Crichton has proven himself to be. So absolutely phenomenal by Crichton, scoring in 4 consecutive grand finals and obviously winning 3 of them, being part of the free beat. Then, just to finish the job, of course, it was going to be Cleary who stepped up again, and eventually with the Broncos' defence tiring, Cleary from close range stepped and weaved and eventually found his way to the try line under the post, converted his own try for Penrith to pull off the unbelievable free-beat 26 points to 24. So, did a short version of this one, but also had to do a long one because there was so much to talk about. Wasn't going to fit all this into 1 minute. If you're still watching right now at the end, thank you very much for all the support. Your boy DL47 all day. Revisiting the 2023 NRL Grand Final, Penrith over Brisbane 26-24. In my opinion, the greatest grand final of them all, DL47.